Kenny Hope, my man, how you doing?
Hey man, we good. We here. And
We
guess what, man?
good. We
Return,
here. We live. How you
return of
been?
the facts. Return. We the return, baby.
Oh
We
man,
back. 2 out of 3 falls, but it's
it's been
going.
what, a week and a half, maybe?
It's been a week and a half. We've been on a little hiatus, but business follows.
Is your mic on? I can't really hear you like that. Come on.
This 1, 2. You hear me?
I
Yeah,
mean,
business is mutual.
turn that shit up. Turn it up. Turn it up.
Turn it up. Turn it
All
up.
right.
Yeah, business is mutual. Everything
That's
is flowing.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, so we haven't done a show because I was out in Vegas for WrestleMania week doing some work, and I got
Yeah,
back on Wednesday morning. So we did not do the post WrestleMania night one or night two show or even Raw.
right.
So we're getting back into the swing of things. Either way, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're here live on YouTube and on X. Any questions, comments, feedback you have regarding WrestleMania, Raw, or SmackDown that finished 10 minutes ago, hit us up in the chat. Get my man Kenny on board. We're gonna get our other boy Terrence involved in a second. But you can follow Kenny on social media at Cowabunga underscore K underscore E underscore N. Myself, Randy J Cruz, RENDY, letter J CRUZ. I'm only wearing the glasses until maybe next week. A lot of allergies popping off. So
Oh,
I got I got a few more days left. So these will be off my face sometime next week. Find the podcast on youtube.com/slash cruise control podcast. Go ahead, download, rates, comments, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. Again, we're doing this live on X and YouTube following Friday Night SmackDown. Any questions, comments, or feedback, hit us up in the chat. We'll get right to it. Um, my man always on time. New, what's up, my man? How you doing? Hope you enjoyed Mania,
what
Raw
up?
after
What up?
Mania, SmackDown. Um, so yeah, man. Listen, a lot has happened in the last week and a half. We can go
Man,
either way. I think we might have to start our way backwards.
mm,
First of all, I do want to give a couple shout outs to, every time we do a prediction or those kind of shows, we kind of say, hey, I think this, I think that, or I predict this, I predict that. And in the last couple of months leading up to WrestleMania, we were saying, what if this happens, or what if this guy comes back, or whatever the case may be. So I give you, I think it was you that said that Joe Hendry would be the opponent for Randy Orton at
yeah,
WrestleMania, and he indeed was the opponent. Terrence and I were thinking Aleister Black and Rusev, which Rusev returned on Monday on Raw.
yeah. Ooh,
Aleister Black returned 2 hours ago on SmackDown.
right.
So they're both back in the E. So congrats to you on predicting Joe Hendry to be the opponent for Randy Orton. Terrence, who's not on yet, I think he said if he had the pen, he will start off WrestleMania, the entire WrestleMania, with Jey Uso and Gunther for
Yeah,
the World Heavyweight Championship, and he indeed was correct on that on that note to start off the whole entire show. I
right.
think he also said he will start off night two with the women's triple threat match,
Good.
which was Io, um, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley, which indeed was the opening for night two.
He was right.
Um, I predicted that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman were going to be working together. I said that probably in sometime in March. And I said, hey, Seth is the wild card. I have him winning, which we all predicted he was going to win. And I said, hey, what if Paul Heyman and Seth go because he hasn't worked with Seth? He don't need Punk, he don't need Roman. And lo and behold, we have a faction forming on Raw with Seth, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. Um, so Terrence, that's you, but I can't get you on, brother. I don't know what's going on with your laptop. Um, Come on, man. We got to do this right.
Mhm.
So yeah, Kenny. Where do you? Let's start with SmackDown. So let's work backwards. John Cena, new champion, defeated Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Right.
Is now going to get Randy Orton at Backlash. In just a couple weeks at St. Louis, the home of Randy Orton, which we predicted it will be Cena, heel Cena, good guy Orton. Um, Orton RKO'd Cena on Raw on Monday. They had the promo earlier tonight. Are you how excited are you for heel Cena babyface Orton at Backlash?
I gotta say, Randy, this is like something. It's just some things you thought you would never see, like you'll never see coming. Like always, like some things you probably would never see coming. You probably would never see 50 Cent be cool with Fat Joe Budden. For damn sure, he's never gonna be cool with Ja Rule.
Mm-hmm.
But forever, we always saw growing up in the mid 2000s. It was always wrestling. John Cena and Randy Orton. Like Randy Orton was always that heel factor, legend killer, the Viper, the mainstream menace, and John Cena, the champ is here. I'm excited
Mm,
for this. This just brings back all those old memories, classic matches.
yeah.
Their history speaks for itself. They got so much. They built so much history. They have so much in the wrestling encyclopedia with that, and it's just good to see the roles change. We never thought we'd see Cena flip the roles like this,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're seeing Cena in this, and it's really building good for that.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, man, like Randy's like one of the. If I was to say Randy Orton is really one, was all said and done, one of the best like regarding wrestlers in heels because his character really told stories like it
Yeah.
throughout it from evolution, legend killer, and then the personified with the Viper, and now it's really just the way it's turning.
Mm-hmm.
Randy is making a point saying that, you know what, John, I have these voices. I'm able to control them. Were this you were the person that were trying to stop me from hearing these voices. Now, you think you hearing these voices? I'm telling you, you don't want these voices.
That's
You were
right.
the one that did these make a wishes. You hate for the kids. Now you're switching up. It is like one thing we saw on Monday, Randy. It was like, hello, old friend. So yeah, old
Yeah.
class, old rivalries class, and I'm ready for it to see. It'll be an interesting concept even for these next 2 weeks. How they're gonna build it up.
Yeah. Listen, we seen Orton and Cena go at it what for damn near 20 years
For 20
on
years.
multiple shows, Raw, SmackDown, PLEs, WrestleManias. I mean, you in all kinds of stipulation matches. And I think in the farewell run for Cena, we were hoping, hey, listen, he's got to get one against Orton. He's got to get one against Punk, and we kept naming all these guys. And it being in St. Louis is very fitting. In Randy's hometown. Um, it just puts us we are rewinding 20 years ago of like, oh shit, Orton and Cena, and weird we're seeing a good guy Orton and a bad guy Cena, because we're always accustomed to bad guy Orton and good guy Cena. And I thought tonight was cool. But them going back and forth on the microphone, obviously going back to Monday, Orton RKO and Cena and that hostile crowd in Vegas. Just seeing it with the black, the entrance, and like this lights are dimming, just my name is some bold ass Microsoft Word font, just like this regular shit. But I think this may not end at Backlash. I'm kind of hoping this can continue. So I'm very happy to see Orton and Cena go at it.
Yeah.
There you go, man. What's up, man? It's
Hey T.
Finally, the scribe has come back
Hey,
for the 2 out of 3 false podcast.
It took you long enough, man. What's up?
hey
Yo,
T.
my internet, y'all know it's a full blown hater at this point. I gotta call somebody. I don't
Hey,
know why it keeps hating on me, but it does. So,
They hating on you. They hate on the kid, man, for Wi-Fi.
they
What's
never
going
want
on?
to see. I feel like Shador Sanders out here. They don't want to see me prosper. It's wild right now. You know what I'm saying?
So
man.
as of with Tip right now, he's still not drafted.
Nah,
No.
he still isn't. He's still
Oh, come
waiting.
on, bro.
You know what's messed up? There was a video. Someone said he got a fake call saying that he got drafted, and then someone on the person on the phone says, "Hey, you still didn't get picked." I'm like, come on, man. That's
Come on,
just.
How you even get his number? The internet is insane.
I don't know how they got his number, but you really
Bro,
got.
He should have been drafted
by the Giants.
yesterday. Like, you know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
second
Like,
round at least. He's a first round pick. Come on, like, isn't
yeah,
that
bro.
disrespectful?
Listen, I don't know what's going on, but till I get first round, second round, or third round is like, all right, bro. Like,
I don't care if you, long as you make it into the league. I don't care what number you is. Like your game should speak for yourself. Like, and if anything, that's just more kerosene to fuel your drive because a lot of people they didn't think you were one. Okay, didn't think you were two. 5 rounds of the NFL draft. All right. Even
yeah,
in the 5th round, I don't care if it's the last one. I'm like, all right, you know what? I got something to prove with nothing to lose because no one's giving me a chance, but I got a lot to prove for myself. So I'm just gonna go out there, F it. That's
I'll
how I
say
feel.
this as a
Yeah.
Jets fan, right? We picked, no disrespect. Our first 2 picks were pretty good. Our 3rd round pick is an honorable mention cornerback from Florida State, but an
Okay.
honorable mention all ACC corner. And I'm like, look, if we're gonna change the franchise, I'd roll the dice on Shador in the 3rd round
Mhm.
before taking like a maybe corner. And our defense is already good. We never struggle on defense. We have
Yeah.
no offense. So to me, I'm like, yo, what don't you see in picking Shador in the 3rd round? I'll leave it at that because we're supposed to be talking about wrestling, and I'm very excited to do so. But
Cool.
as a Jets fan, I'm hurt, man.
As we get back to the wrestling, it's kind of crazy how I'd say the episodes of SmackDown and Raw this week could be viewed as the same level of this year's Mania, good and not so good thing in my opinion. So Terrence, for the record, you have not seen SmackDown, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you want the cliff notes of SmackDown?
Please do enlighten me, brothers. I saw a little bit, but I want to hear from y'all.
Okay, so we had Orton and Cena start off SmackDown. Promo wise, some good shit. They'll be going 1-on-1 for the title at Backlash, which I think we all kind of expected. So that'll be the main event of Backlash. We just finished watching the main event, which is a TLC triple threat tag team match for the tag titles, the Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, and DIY, which is probably automatic classic for a half hour, just a bunch of tables and ladders and chairs and just bugging out. Street Profits are still tag champions. I think they really went out there to say, you know what, fuck this shit. We're gonna go all out because we should have been on WrestleMania, not on SmackDown. So
I agree.
I think they all had an extra chip on their shoulder. What else we had? The return of Aleister Black. He's back. He interrupted the Miz promo. Zelina Vega is the new Women's United States champion.
Hey, shout out my Boricuas. You feel me?
That's right. That's right. Jade and Tiffany fought 1-on-1, which
led match, or they
they fought a match.
Which really good.
Which got sidetracked by the interference from Naomi, and then you saw Nia Jax come out and attack Tiffany Stratton. So I think they're setting up Naomi and Jade again, and also Tiffany and Nia for I assume the title, and with Backlash coming down the pipeline. What else on SmackDown? Jacob Fatu came out, U.S. champion. Solar kept saying he was the reason why Fatu became champion. I found him. I brought him in. He's my guy. Because of me. Yeah. He's U.S. champion. So LA Knight came out. Drew McIntyre came out. They said Drew and LA, the winner of tonight, will be the main contender for Fatu. They had the match. Shenanigans happened. So Damian Priest popped out. Solo tried to make Drew McIntyre win, and then there was no clear winner. So you got all that going on. So right now, as far as I know, there's no clear number one contender for Fatu. What else on SmackDown? I think that's pretty much it.
I did see, on Twitter, obviously it's ahead of me, so I'm seeing a few things. I saw Zelina, shout out to her. She's been waiting for her moment.
Yes.
I feel like I saw somebody go through a table.
TLC match.
Yeah, right. I didn't fully see
TLC. Yeah, TLC.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay. Somebody went.
It was a lot of those today. A lot of those.
Yeah. I thought I saw Dawkins send somebody almost to the upper room. You know,
Man,
Facts.
he did an edge type spear through a table.
I
Yeah.
saw that. That was crazy.
Man,
And I
yo,
saw
dude.
Fatu jump
Gerard.
through the ropes, land on LA Knight and Damian Priest,
Mm-hmm.
and he had on a Raiders jersey and a shiesty. And I was like, this is what I'm watching wrestling for. Like,
All gas, no brakes.
Gerard, Naomi should have won a Mania. I thought so too. Before I left for Vegas, we all had Naomi winning, but listen, I'm not mad at Jade winning. I listen, and what you saw tonight with Tiffany, I think they're starting to push Jade into another level of we're getting you away from the tag team title scene, getting away from Bianca, getting away from Naomi, but now we're gonna start putting the ring with Tiffany and those ladies. But I think they might run it back one more time at Backlash. Um, yeah, should she have won? I picked her. I think we all picked her, but I have no problem with Jade because she is the next up and coming star, and they got to start building her in one on one action. What else we got here? Imagine how much better Mania would have been with that TLC match. They were trolling. Yeah, I don't know if they were not on Mania, what was in their place. I think Mania had what 14 matches. I think seven night one
7-7, yeah.
seven. Listen, if you tell me, hey, could I have plucked out like
New Day, like if we
I would take the New Day.
I would have took out El Rancho America.
El Grande.
Oh, you didn't like that match?
It was good, but come on, I could.
No, I think once you take Rey Mysterio out,
you could have
you could have plugged in.
I'm not gonna hold. Okay, this is definitely segueing into what I wanted to. We were talking
We're
about.
gonna go all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But I gotta say it though.
That's what we do.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Out of the 14 matches, the New Day match was the one I didn't care about. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That was my all right. I'm going to the store match. Y'all want anything? I was hosting. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the
Hey,
host.
don't do that. Don't do that because you told us your popcorn match was Fatu and LA Knight last week.
No, that wasn't mine. That was
me.
That was you, Kenny?
I would never. I'm a big LA Knight fan, and you know I love Jacob, so I was glued. That was
no.
Kenny.
No. I am Kenny. If I'm bugging, tell me. Didn't Terrence say that the popcorn match was the Fatu? Oh, that was
Wasn't that the other our boy?
Oh, my boy Armin, right?
Armin was here.
Oh,
all right, yeah. I'm about to say I know it wasn't me. I thought it was you, Kenny. I thought
my bad.
Look at that, that's crazy.
My bad.
Shenanigans.
Well, so you would say the one on Mania, you was like, it was New Day match.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. And it had nothing to do with the New Day. And honestly, it didn't even have anything to do with the War Raiders. I like both of them. I felt like that match was kind of forced. And there was no build, there was no story other than like, yeah, we're the New Day and we're the bad guys now, and we want to, try to win a title as heels. I kind of feel like honestly we could have flipped that because just seeing Twitter's response and like hearing y'all describe how incredible the Street Profits match was. Let's keep it a buck. Even though I kind of feel like Motor City Machine Gun, I think wrestling wise, they're top tier. I think their stories and like their promos need a lot of work. Like I just don't care. But if you're just gonna give me a match that's just gonna be like, well, fuck it, we just gonna throw it with this level of intensity, I would flip them, and that would have been what I would have preferred to see that then.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think for me, listen, I don't want to spend too much time on Mania. I think the highlights for me were the two triple threat matches, men and women.
Agreed.
100%.
1,000%. They did their fucking thing. So I can't even speak more on it. The stories were there. For the men's main on night one and the women's opening. Before you got on, Terrence, I said, I'm giving props. Kenny did say he predicted Joe Hendry to be the opponent for Randy Orton. You predicted a while ago that Jey Uso and Gunther will open up WrestleMania, the entire WrestleMania of night one, and also the women's triple threat opening night 2 of WrestleMania. I did say Seth and Paul Heyman were going to be working together. So we all had something.
It sounds like we know what the fuck we talking about. That's what
Hey,
it
it
sounds
sound like
Hey, we fans, baby. What's
Triple
up,
H be
baby?
watching. Triple H be watching. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we said some other things regarding WrestleMania, but I think overall, if you tell me real quick from like a 1 to 10 or like a letter grade, I'd probably give it like a B minus in that range.
A B, like a B flat. I would give it
A flat B, like it's like
not a minus. Not
if
a
you're in
plus,
school,
but a
like
B.
79.9 or something,
right, yeah.
81 point something. But I think it was okay. A lot of builds were not there, but some of the matches really delivered in the ring.
I think so.
And then all right, what else we got? We got shit.
We had Mania. We had Raw after Mania.
So Raw after Mania. So real quick, so SmackDown. I want to finish SmackDown. SmackDown
Gotcha.
tag team title match was awesome. Cena and Orton. Real quick. So Terrence, Cena, Orton. We're 2 weeks backlash for the championship. But I want to ask. I know you haven't seen SmackDown, so you don't know what the promos went. But are you? How excited are you for a heel Cena and a good guy Orton in this environment for the title at Backlash?
Very honestly, because I was like, where are they gonna go with this whole, John Cena's taking the history and like, where are we going from Mania? You know what I mean? I think we all like the Raw after Mania. We're like, all right, well, what are we doing?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Cody's gone, Seth and Roman and CM Punk, they have their own thing going. Like, so what does this mean for John? So then when, what I'm saying, the Viper popped out, it was like, thank you. Because like, I saw somebody say on Twitter like earlier this week, like, yo, we could have did this at Mania. Like this would have been, you know what I mean? Like I hate to rebook everything, right? And I mean, we've all heard the back room story, but imagine the confusion, the like story if two baby faces walk into to WrestleMania, John Cena, and then he turns, you know what I'm saying? And then we get Randy Orton being like the voices of head. I mean, it's a pause. The voices in his head of reason.
I was trying to let it go, but I was like,
wow.
Oh.
All right, next segment.
Hey, but
moving on, man. Moving on.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't very PG. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't.
No, but you're right though. I think again, a lot has happened in the last couple of days. I didn't even mention the Rock going on Pat Mack and saying, everybody was up in arms about him not being involved at WrestleMania, which a very legit gripe.
Yeah,
this started because you want to take people's souls and you wanted Cody. He turned you down, and then Cena sold his soul to you. And then from that point on, at Chamber back in early March, we haven't seen you on TV. And everybody, oh, where's the Rock? Where's the Rock? Where's the Rock? And still, there hasn't been no explanation of why Cena joined the Rock. And this is April 25th. That happened early March. So a whole month and a half has gone by of why Cena has not said why he joined the Rock, why he turned heel, and they just been like trying to make something happen without him. And then I didn't see the whole thing with Pat Mack. I saw highlights, and then writing Dave LaGreca on Busted Open about it's a work, chill out, relax, something like that. And it's like it's just a lot going on. And it just answer the question, like, why weren't you at WrestleMania? Why weren't you involved? Not saying you got to fight. You weren't involved whatsoever. And then you get the Travis Scott thing. And then people got turned off by that because he took 2.5 minutes to get to the ring. And then, like, he was supposed to be the guy to attack Cody. And it's like, yo, what's going on? This is the worst main event in history. So you was hearing a lot of that. And I'm like, all right, I hear y'all. I really do. The match was not great at all between Cena and Cody Rhodes. I think Cody held back a lot because he knew the deficiencies that Cena does have being older, and I do get that. and then seeing
Oh,
the
yeah.
main events Cody had the last couple of
We were.
years to now, like you took down the whole bloodline, you took down all these guys, but then like a one shot with the belt from Cena and Travis Scott, now you can't beat Cena. It just it
Yeah,
was a lot. It was a lot going on. A lot going on.
it was.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's like not now what? Like hey, like this Cena heel turn, he'll when he turned heel, you was like, oh shit, this is right behind Hogan, or just as better, just as good or better than Hogan. And then from that point on, it's been like this.
But that's the thing is like that makes it now it's definitely not right because
Oh,
just
for
in
sure
the
not.
past
No,
months, like it just doesn't even mean anything. And like
no.
I got a couple gripes. I won't go into all of them, but personally, I want to know what y'all think. I kind of feel like I like that they're pulling us behind the curtain a little bit, but I kind of wish they wouldn't. Like I feel like you've given us
I was
almost
gonna ask you that too. Are you think they're doing too much of like pulling the layers back and letting people? They got the thing on Netflix coming in the summertime.
right the writers' room,
Like, do you want to
which
see that? Do you want to know so too much information?
I'll say it like this: as a writer, right? Like as a longtime fan, I think I'll know where to appreciate what they're trying to do. But I feel like with them going so mainstream now and like
Yeah,
everybody, kind of joining in, and which is dope. I also feel like you kind of you losing a little bit of the luster, you losing a little bit of the mystique because
yeah.
now that like wrestling's always had blurred lines, right? Of like, is this The Rock
Oh,
or is this Dwayne Johnson or is this a little,
Robin Thicke, blur lines.
you know what I mean? Like, not those ones, but like well, actually those ones too, right? Like that's what Sean and them was doing.
Shalimar, help me out. Disney would never. What do you mean by they would never?
well, I think like spilling like
Oh, what the?
secret because some I feel like I agree with T and Shalimar. Like some things, like I know you want to connect with the fans, especially now everything mainstream, but some
Yeah,
things just need to be remain you know,
yeah.
keep
A
within
little
your
kayfabe,
wall.
like just
It needs to stay within your wall, stay within your parameters. Yeah, not everyone's gonna get it, and not everyone needs to understand. Some things
mhm.
regard privacy. Like you don't need to, like you don't need to know how to bake don't need to give out always your recipe of how to make the cake. Just know this: people are going to eat it if it's delicious. Like, yeah, we want to know.
Wow, that was well put, Kenny. Damn.
I mean, we want to know what's really good with the. We want to know how do they come up with these ideas and how to write, but also too that would just be like, oh, this is how they thinking. We can't force that as well. We just gotta wait and just expect it as much. Like we know we want what we want to see, and we just wait and let it come out, let it simmer, let it marinate, and then we just get it served. Like some
Yeah,
things you don't need to do. I mean, boom. I know with tea is like, every time you wrote a story or so, if they're expecting it, you don't just give them the details immediately. Like, hey, I'm writing that.
Not
Yeah,
at all. Y'all don't do
Randy,
nothing until it's ready. You feel me?
Randy, I know worked with the tournament every time. You don't let everyone know like, oh, these are the teams to go. These are the players. Hey, these guys is coming. I'm like, every year is always different. So you just always got to wait for that. It's always sometimes you just can't give your secrets all out. You just gotta. Some things are remain private. It can't always go out to the public. That's my point.
and I think this is different. Where like if you compare it to like a movie kind of thing, like all right, for example, big Dark Knight fan here. For me, if someone said, "Hey, you want to go behind the scenes of like how Dark Knight was made, or like the production and where they did this and did that, and the writers' room," I'd be like, "Oh shit, I want to check that out because it's a movie. I want to see how it was prepared and broken down." But I guess in this case, it's like Terrence said, it's the magic, it's the mystique. You want to keep a
Hmm.
little, even though the kayfabe has been gone for quite some time, you still want to be like, all right, like we know this is we know what this is, but still leave a little bit of like, oh shit, I did
Imagination.
not know that was gonna happen. Is this really real? Do they got real beef? Like, hey, what's going on? You still want to have that when you're watching, not like someone said earlier on Twitter, like, oh, now when The Rock said his comments about it being whatever it is. Now, when Adam Pearce says, "Oh, Gunther, we're gonna fine you and you're suspended," we're like, "You ain't finding shit, bro." It's like you just don't believe it like that. Oh, maybe they did fine Gunther 50K like they do in the fucking NBA if wild out, or he is suspended for indefinitely. Just now it's like, all right, it's just bullshit words. You're out there just telling a story
It
for the
just takes away.
audience, and it's like I get both sides, but it's like for me, I don't mind the curtain being pulled back a little bit, but to a whole thing like, oh shit, like all right, and you see everybody's friends. There's no heels, there's no
Mhm.
rivalries. You still want to have that little, and the big word is mystique.
It just takes away from the character development or
Yeah.
the mysteriousness of it. So I feel like you just gotta keep that going. Yeah, kayfabe is a but it just creates that. It creates the wonder. It creates the one, and just creates the what do you think is gonna happen? It just creates the imagination. So some things we don't need to know a lot. Like, oh, are they actually friends in life? I mean, come on, man. As long as you can separate the fiction from reality, I think
Hmm.
you'll be fine with it. But everyone's just different. That's just the way it
I,
is.
I think for me, I'll wrap it up by saying too, like it's almost in a little bit of a weird space now where it's like, okay, I'm here to see Roman Reigns. I don't need to know that, Joe is a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Hmm.
doesn't need to come out in Vanity Fair. I'm not, and we've talked about it a lot. Like we know, like half the company,
Yeah.
it's like the country. Half the company is, half the company isn't. But you don't think that takes away from like, because now it's like, okay, am I talking about the character, or am I talking about Joe? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to see Roman Reigns. If I seen Joe in the street, I wouldn't call you Joe. I'd be like, hey, Roman, love
Roman.
your work.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Because I don't know you. I know the character.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, while you're in character, be the character. If you going on a talk show as the character, be the
Be
character.
the
Like,
character.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like for the OGs, they got to play by different rules, in my opinion. If you're not still wrestling, so for Taker, for Austin, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
y'all can be yourselves because you've done the work, you laid the groundwork.
Yeah. You're not active no more. You're not
Right.
active.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
like when you come out, we're just excited to see you and give you your flowers. Come out, do your, maybe give us a stunner, maybe give us a hand raise, throw the double birds and catch some Steve Weisers, and that's all we want from you because you're
Right.
60 years old. But if you are
Yeah.
currently still building your legacy or cementing it, or yeah, give us that person that we have come to know. We don't need to know the other side of you just yet.
Yeah. I got a question.
What's up?
I'm gonna timestamp this at the 33-minute mark. Um, hearing what The Rock said, and if you probably have seen it or probably saw it online, um, about just WrestleMania and him not being involved. And listen, we are in 2025. This Roman Reigns Rock match has been talked about forever for the last 4 or 5 plus years. Um, and you do hear Rock. He's like, I want to do it with, never done before stuff, and right time and right place. And Roman has not been injured the last couple years. The Rock, to my knowledge, has been very healthy the last couple years. No injuries. Rock was at 40 last year. We were very, very close last year to getting Rock and Roman, and then the Cody fan base said, "Nah, fuck that. We want our guy Cody." Um, the thing is, like, what's the holdup with Rock and Roman? Like, it's got to be more than just scheduling and stuff like that. Like, again, they're not injured. Rock is a movie star. I get that, but it's got to be something else. Like, to me, if this doesn't happen, and I thought a basketball analogy for you, Terrence, not having Rock and Roman at WrestleMania is like not having LeBron and Kobe in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we know why that didn't happen because the fucking Orlando Magic fuck everything up, right? But what is that block of why we just can't have Rock and Roman already? I don't know.
Yeah, I never thought I'd get a Cody Rhodes, Dwight Howard comparison, but here we are. I kind of just feel like, I'll say this. Seth Rollins recently, because he was asked the same question, and he just basically more or less was like, yeah, that would be the first match I do to get it out of the way because everybody wants it until they actually have to see it. And I think what he was more or less saying is like, yeah, The Rock has a little bit left in him. It's not going to be the match that everybody thinks it'll be. You know what I mean? Roman's going to have to carry a lot of it. And Rock did look good last Mania. I won't take anything away from him. He's obviously in phenomenal shape, but he is still, he in his 50s. So it's like he can't move the same way he could have 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. And so I look at it like that window of opportunity.
It's closing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So last year made a lot of sense because you got, head of the table is on the table, right? And so I'm looking at it like if it's me and I'm in that writer's room, we now have Roman as a man with no nation. You have you don't have the Ulafala, you don't have you have the bloodline in theory, like they still around, but that's not what
it's over now. It's over.
Right. Yeah, everybody's going in different directions. So it's like the only way to bring it back, in my opinion, is somehow, which again now would be a little bit weird. Somehow you gotta need a reason for the bloodline to reunite, right? And then have Rock like, okay, I'm gonna fantasy book it real quick. There's a new faction, right? Paul Heyman has turned on you.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make it that much worse is if The Rock was somehow behind all of it, as and he was the one talking about like you're no tribal chief or I'm the actual head of the table. I'm the head of the board and play into that, like the real final boss, the real head of the table, blah, blah, blah. Right. And The Rock needs his bloodline and like goes and gets like the full on. I mean, bring on Fatu even like, everybody coming through. And they got to have some sort of war games or Survivor Series that then it ladders up to, okay, we all knew it would come down to this. Boils down to The Rock and Roman, and they got to battle over the Ulafala. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way to make it make sense again, especially with this new faction, which I'm very excited for. But that's the only way to make sense of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, at this point, like, why else would they be? You know what I'm saying? Like, why else would they be?
And I think if you go back to WrestleMania night, Raw after Mania, including night one,
right?
I think they've been heavily bloodline storyline the last couple of years, at least 4 or 5 years. Is something connected with the bloodline. Roman, the Usos, is Fatu, is Solo, is Paul Heyman, and I think what they did when Heyman turned on Roman, and then began this new faction with Seth and Braun Breaker, to me, that ended that thing with the bloodline. That's over now. It's a new day, a new time. Like nothing bloodline. Roman is by himself now. There's no connection to anything bloodline. That shit is done. We're moving on. Bye-bye. We're on to this. And I think it does put Roman in a very vulnerable position, which is good. You want to see him like, damn, like I can't trust nobody. My wise man left. And now I gotta look over here. Like, is CM Punk the only guy I can really trust in this whole situation of all fucking people? I can't trust Seth. I can't trust Solo. I can't trust. I mean, aside from Jimmy and Jay, but they're on a different path now. He's by himself, and that's what Cody said. What, last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was. Like this guy with everything's gonna break down. You'll fucking break down. And my thing is to get The Rock and I get it. It ain't gonna be like 5 stars, but still, when The Rock came out on SmackDown last year, when Cody said, "Oh, I know someone, whatever," and Rock comes out, the crowd, you heard the crowd like, "Oh shit, we're finally gonna get The Rock and fucking Roman Reigns." But then the other crowd said, "No, we want our guy Cody Rhodes." And it's like, damn, okay. So now you do that, you change shit up, and maybe The Rock still feels salty from that time. Like, damn, like when you had it in your hands, you fucking had it. You had this match on paper going to WrestleMania 40, Rock and Roman for the title. but you wanted Cody instead to finish his story. Cool, granted. But now I'm gonna make you guys wait longer for the match. Maybe he's just doing it out of spite. I don't know. But this, to me, you cannot have Rock's career end without two matches: Cody and Roman. After that, maybe he's still undecided. Like I think Roman might be his final match ever, and I think he's stalling. Like, when should I pull the trigger on that? Because ain't that much time left, bro. You said Rock is what, mid-50s? Like, I mean, he did okay at 40.
Yeah.
But like you said, Roman's got to carry that match. But still, it's two heavyweight people in the ring. Like, you gotta get this. Don't be Pacquiao and Mayweather when it should have happened 5 years prior or whatever. And then you finally get in. Oh, yeah, it's whatever. Don't do that.
I think the holdup is maybe it's too much protection for both guys. Like they don't despite it all,
But
Rock,
why? Rock should not win that match anyway.
well, still, because also too, I guess maybe is also what you probably said earlier, like maybe out of spite, but also The Rock maybe a sense of pride. I know that's his family, but he would still want to perform like a good match, and he doesn't want to be in a match that if it might come performed not like standard even at his age. Roman, Roman wants to be able to put on a good match or he gets put over or win loss or so, but I think from now all the way until next year, I think how it all transformed, like everything that you said, we're gonna see now the bloodline story is now over right now. But
Over.
if anything, I think it will probably you might resurface, and that might happen somewhere down the line within War Games all the way up Royal Rumble. We might have call it Civil War 2, Bloodline War 2. But if you give it that, it all connects. Everything from this connects within the new faction with Seth is formed, possibly the new bloodline. The next thing you know, Rock might eventually come out, maybe around SummerSlam or when Cena packs it away. Maybe when Cena says, "All right, I'm done," but you know what? Rock comes out, maybe shakes his hand, but guess what? He's like, "You know what? You're terminated." Gives him a rock bottom, and next thing you know, Rock's back in the reins for doing so. Then guess what? Everyone starts coming back. They're all connected. Roman may have some beef. And guess what? Roman working with Punk, guess what? They don't like each other, but we all hold the phrase. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they're going to end up possibly doing some bids together. And guess who's probably going to be in the middle of it? Cody. Cody's probably going to come back and insert himself in this again. It all ties in. You might get Cody and Rock maybe sometime before WrestleMania. Cody might lose, and then Cody goes on his another path. But then, hey, we might even, and then, if then, we get Roman and Rock, no title at WrestleMania. Rollins. That's how I would do it if I was fantasy booking like T was. So that's
Well, you
it's a lot.
you said a few things. A, a stark difference last year than this year was the fact that Roman was the bad guy and Rock was a good guy, and Roman was the champion. Right now, if this match was to happen, it ain't gonna be for the title. Roman's a good guy now, and Rock will be in the final ball stage of the character. And it's like, all right, Rock, how do we get you to WrestleMania 42? Because one, you're already getting backlash from not being at 41. So maybe this is motivation for him to be a part of, not just be a part of it, but really be like your DNA is really all over the place for 42, because people are upset that you did this whole thing with John, and now it's like, damn, did John even need The Rock to turn heel? And you could be like, no, John could have did this shit by himself. He could have been good guy until Mania, and then turn at Mania, and then oh shit, okay, there's no Rock involvement at all. But now The Rock did that with Travis and Chamber. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna do this, Where the fuck are you for the next month and a half? No promo, no via satellite, no nothing. You're just not even. And you was at WrestleMania. You was in the building or in Vegas. Like you could have pulled up and say and did something, but not having you there, that could be a Rock thing, that could be a Triple H thing, that could be a TKO thing. We just don't know. We're all speculating.
Real quick, Randy. Let me ask you. He was there?
He said he was there.
I thought he was in Hawaii.
Yeah, because the night before he posted a video.
Bro, I saw something that they said he was in at WrestleMania.
That's more disappointing.
If that's true, if that's true, then I'm like, how can you have him backstage and he just
chilling? Like that's
just chilling.
That's weird. Like, because to your point, even if he didn't actually get involved, but he at least had he was on the jumbotron and had a message for Cody or had a message for John.
You would think, right?
Right. Even if he would have just popped up after John won and did one of these, people would have been like, "What does that mean?" Like it would have just
been blood again. Like
right. It would have just been enough. Like so to just not show, not have any explanation, not have zero involvement, and then go on air as Dwayne Johnson and explain why The Rock didn't show up. That's what I mean. Where I'm like, yo,
because his main thing was that he said he did not want to get involved in the finish. So basically, this is John Cena's final go around. It's the farewell tour. He didn't really want to take the spotlight away from Cody and John. But when you're The Rock, you just happen to take the spotlight from Cena and Cody. It just who you are and what you are. Like, not saying you're that guy, but you're the most notable person in the world as far as acting in Hollywood. So Rock, then Cena, then Cody. That's how it goes, and creative differences, and I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to make sure if he did say he was there. But I'm probably reading too fast. Again, if he was there, that's extra bugged out. If he wasn't, it was really in Hawaii, then I get the scheduling purposes, but then just don't be involved at all. I love The Rock. It's better with him, but if you're not going to be fully committed, then this WrestleMania was good without you, and then we just go back to the well for 42. But it's like now fans are upset because the match did not live up to the hype. Any hype? I mean, there wasn't even a hype for it. Hype. There's no story behind it.
I say the match would have been fine if Travis Scott didn't come out with his entrance. If he would have just came to the side, interfered.
Or even before that, you weren't getting Shawn and Brett in the ring. Or even Cody and Roman. You weren't even getting that.
Oh, you talking okay.
You weren't getting that. Cena's 46, 7, 8. He's not. This thing is Super Cena. It was slower, double axe handle type of shit. He's demolition. What we doing? I like he came up with the black kicks.
He was wrestling.
I did say, John, you got to pull up with the black kicks like this NBA playoffs, and at least he did that. I like the entrance. I like all of that. It just in the ring, it was slow and methodical. But
I think that's what I'm mostly worried about with The Rock. Is the further we push this thing out with him and Roman, the more it's gonna look like Cody versus Cena, because he's 52 now. So anything beyond the next 3 years, how much can again? He'll be in shape, he'll be brolic, but can he move? You know what I mean? Is he
because at that point you can't blame Roman. Roman's there, yo, what's up? We doing this or not? It's Rock, it's Hunter, it's creative. It just a matter how do we let's stop with the hold up. Let's get this shit popping, because you keep saying right place, right time, story, but if you're not gonna do anything, just don't pull up and come back. But if you are gonna come back and do this, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Come on, you can't end your career without no Rock and Roman. Come on, bro. That's Kobe LeBron finals shit right there. right or wrong?
True.
It is, but it's just.
And do you feel bad for Cody because Cody didn't really look good?
No, I feel like Cody just deserved the break anyway. So I don't care who took the title off of him. I think it just was time for him to get a little rest.
My thing,
and I tell you one thing.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. again, I don't know how long the break is gonna be. I still feel there's some Cody involvement for this backlash match with Cena and Orton. I think there's something that you could use a Cody Rhodes in this. Like, oh shit, like whether it's a tweener, it's a not saying heel, but it's something where could they I saw somewhere he was supposed to be on SmackDown. He was advertised for SmackDown.
Yeah.
We didn't see him, but maybe he ain't taking that break as we think he is. Or I'm just saying it could be something. All right, Cody with Orton, Cena, Backlash, maybe where now Cody tries to help Randy win, but then he loses and Orton blames Cody, and you start that off, and Cena goes over here where you work on Orton and Cody, or Cody's gonna take a well-deserved vacation. We just don't know. He'll pull up on SummerSlam or some shit like that. But I'm thinking if it ain't Backlash, if he's not a Backlash, all right, I'll see you a few months. You ain't doing nothing else.
Hmm.
Because I think you are gonna get Orton and Cody very, very soon.
And I think one thing they're about to do is like how they expect Cody to return. Cody's basically return after he takes his break. That's one thing they're probably gonna like. They're like, all right, Cody, how are we going to make it look like how you
Yeah.
gonna come back? Are you
And
gonna?
they were booing him at Mania.
I mean, I
Any
mean,
time off,
it
you
was
might get
a
the cheers back.
it was a sound favorite, and Cody's been holding that belt for the whole year. He ain't Roman, but it was a
Yeah.
whole year. So I mean, again, Cody did help. He performed. He did his moves, his match,
Mhm.
but you've already felt it. Who was it going to go to? As much as the great promos he cut on Monday and
Yeah.
Friday, but like it was good. But like, yeah, we already knew who the belt was going to go to. So it's just the way it
Bro,
was.
we all had Cena winning. I think we all
Yeah,
had John.
we
Bro,
did.
you can't advertise John Cena to come on Pat McAfee the following day and expect him to go on there as a loser. That was the writing on the wall. Oh, John Cena's coming on Pat Mac on Monday. Okay, what, without the belt as a loser? You're putting the champion on the show. Right or wrong. They didn't say Cody Rhodes coming on Pat Mac the following day.
Right.
100%. I think too, like as far as Cody goes, I probably wouldn't bring him on for Backlash if I'm being honest. Like
Mhm.
I would because I feel like Cena and Orton deserve to like get that smoke one more time. It's more or less like who are Cena's matches at this point, right?
But
Like
you know that John is not losing at Backlash.
no, of
The
course not.
title, the title.
I don't think so. They said that John has like there's gonna be like a to be announced uh PLE for him like
Mhm.
towards the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm assuming that it'll probably be his last match because I'm gonna guess it's either right before Rumble or right after Rumble. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, because now the question is, if you take care of Orton now,
right.
then we all thought Orton will be the last match. So if Orton's now,
Yeah. How do
John's
you
last match is now down to what? Is Cody going to be the last match for John
maybe
to
maybe
get that
that's
rematch or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, and get the belt back or who knows? I mean, I wouldn't bring Cody back into the mix until SummerSlam if I'm being real. I think he
Maybe
deserves that much of a break. It also allows for more storylines to develop. You know what I'm
more
saying? Like,
characters. Yeah, give more characters a
you
chance.
feel
Yeah,
me? Like, because at this point, outside of John, the only other person I could really, really see having anything to do with Cody is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is gone for the foreseeable
yeah,
time frame, in real right. You know what I mean? Like with his actual neck injury. So
yep.
in this moment, let Cody get his rest. Couple months, like you said. I mean, we'll be in August in 2-3 months. So
Yep.
let him get, you know what I'm saying? Let him get ready. You know what I mean? Get in real, SummerSlam shape. This is the first 2-night SummerSlam, so we really need you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
give him a little bit of that time.
yeah.
Um,
Um, my last point before we wrap up, but a very, valid thing. Um, this new faction with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker
Mhm.
on Raw, which could I think lead to a tag team match at Backlash with Punk and Roman against Seth and Braun. Um, I'm happy Braun is part of the mix. Um,
Yeah.
it gives Evolution vibes. It gives Dangerous Alliance vibes.
Yeah.
Um,
No Dangerous Alliance. I think it's closer to that.
Dangerous Alliance, but if they want to go near Dangerous Alliance vibes,
Uh-huh.
they need a female to be involved.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we know who
And
that might be.
because earlier earlier in the night, Becky Lynch turned heel
Oh,
on
Valkyria.
Valkyria. So Terrence, what do you make of the Seth Braun Paul Heyman alignment? Becky turning heel, and are you leaning more like towards Evolution? And we need more. We need if Seth is the Hunter,
Mhm.
Paul is the Flair, Braun is the Batista. If they want to go Evolution side, who should be the Randy Orton of the group? If they go Dangerous side, who should be the female in the group?
I mean, honestly, I just thinking about like his own history, right? Like Paul Heyman, I think he goes a little bit like I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix. He's going to throw one more vet in, but I think this is his opportunity to give the Dangerous Alliance a W, like it's WWE version. You know what I'm saying? Like not that
Would you
faction,
call it that though, or a different name?
probably a different name. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at least like it could be something. This is going to sound cheesy, but I think
Oh
it could even work
boy.
like Paul Heyman guys. You know what I mean? Like I don't hate
Boo.
Paul Heyman guys. Whatever. Point is, I think you bring in Becky. That's obvious. You bring in Becky, right? But I wouldn't hate either bringing in two more guys who are already a tag team, or just bringing in two more people anyway.
But
Um,
is Becky obvious though?
if anything, she might be too obvious. You know what I'm
That's what I'm
saying? Like,
saying.
so it's
That's what I'm
like,
thinking. I don't know about Becky
but
though.
I like it because like the only other person to me, uh, if it's not Becky, and I don't know who would agree with me on this one, but
Oh, let me see. There's someone I'm thinking, but I'm gonna see if you're thinking what I'm thinking.
is she younger or is she current? Like, is she already main roster?
If I tell you, it's a given.
All right. Well, I'll say this. These are
Okay.
like I think the only other option is Roxanne Perez. I think it would make sense to
Okay.
bring her as like
With Seth and Braun Breaker?
well, the thing is she already has an edge to her. She has attitude. She can make me believe that Paul Heyman would want to associate with someone like her. I thought that she should have got the push that Lyra got. I get it now. Like they did that so that Becky could come back, turn heel, because it makes more sense for her to turn heel on Lyra than it does on her, on Roxanne Perez. But if
Yeah.
I'm keeping it a buck, Roxanne to me, as deep as that NXT roster was, you know what I'm saying, pre Stephanie and Julia, right? I thought Roxanne was the real ready now gem after Tiffany. So you even see it, right? She's the one kind of getting like, okay, we'll throw you in Elimination Chamber, but then you go back to NXT. We'll throw you in the mix at like Raw, then you go back to NXT. So she's right there, like it's about to happen. Other than that, yeah, I feel like you just go full Becky Lynch, let her and Seth have their on screen, like real life, blur the line romance, and make it more about, what I'm saying? Like she could play that Alundra Blaze character really well. She's a vet. You know what I'm saying? Like people already kind of give her shit because they call her Becky Hogan. You know what I mean? Like, and in terms of like guys, I feel like we were already thinking like, yo, there's something about Drew McIntyre and Seth. Right? Like they feel like they're kind of like you said earlier, Kenny, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like
Yep.
a little bit of that already. And Drew has been feeling like a chip on his shoulder for the longest at this point. So I feel like adding somebody like him would make a lot of sense. Unless you just go full on tag team, which if there was a tag team that could use Paul Heyman, I think it's Motor City Machine Guns. And that's mostly because in ring, phenomenal. Chef's kiss. I don't give a fuck what they have to say, though. So they are at the point of like they need someone to hype them up. They need someone to help them develop, like what Paul Heyman does. We all know what he does, right? He tells you how to cut a promo, and he gives you the character you didn't know you had. So I feel like he could do that with them.
Kenny, who would you add to the Seth Rollins soon to be named faction?
I have a possible 3 choices.
Okay, let's hear it.
I say before Drew McIntyre, I said earlier, but then I'm thinking like also too, like who would like also give him work and give like an edge, like some type of like main power. Like I thought Bron would be like the strong muscle, but what if, Bron could be like, that, but you need someone like if they build in this faction, like the muscle, like someone within height, like the big man. I'm thinking Drew. Another one comes to my mind is Damian Priest, maybe, and also Gunther as well. But Gunther's like my last resort because Gunther doesn't need a faction to hold them because Gunther's like solid by himself. But if I was to do, I would pick those two. I agree with T on possibly giving the Motor City, they would build phenomenally with that. Anyone else? Women wise, I think I would go with Becky. Despite her working with her husband, but I say either Becky or maybe Bianca. You would put her in that too. That would just give like a thing. But Bianca's can work with it, but this will show like a different side, especially after I heard tonight. Bianca said, unfortunately she had her injury after the main event, but she stated, I'm gonna come back on SmackDown. I got some unfinished business to take care of. So
I don't
know. That's my thought.
I think this faction is going to involve people that need that push. That is if you are Drew, you don't need it. If you are Bianca, you don't need it. You're very well established. You don't need to be with Seth and or part of any Gunther. You don't need it. Then it's like, all right, who needs it? Who's staggering? Who's stale? Who can use the bump? I saw on Twitter the last couple of days, and I'm like, if they go this route, I can see. He's not Orton, but I can see it. So like I said, if Seth is Hunter, Paul is Rick, Braun is Batista, I kept seeing Austin Theory is the Randy Orton to the group. What is Austin Theory doing? He's doing nothing with Waller, right? But he had the aspirations before beating John Cena at WrestleMania, becoming U.S. champion. He's got it. It's just like there's nothing there for him. Now if you package him with Seth and Braun and Paul Heyman, you can see a different side of Austin Theory. That's just my take. The female side, the female who I have in mind, matter of fact, Noob, Drew, Austin Theory, Becky, or Asuka. Noob, the woman I'm gonna name is not even with the company. She's not.
I see where you're going. I think I see where you're going, but I want you to say it. I think I see where you're going.
I hope I don't drop the ball and name somebody else. The real Paul Heyman girl that needs, if she were to ever come back, that needs a Paul Heyman by her side, a person on the microphone that will give all of us like, oh shit, Ronda Rousey.
Not who I was thinking.
Not at all who I was thinking, but I appreciate the oh shit factor. I don't know if in the McMahon era, yes,
Mhm.
because he's the first one to be like, I don't give a shit if it's gonna make money, bring him back. I don't know how her and Paul, you know what I'm saying? Like, not Paul Heyman,
No, but
Paul Levesque. I don't know how I don't know how they got along where she would actually.
well, she was more mad at Vince, from what I know, at Vince, not
Okay.
Hunter.
That's fair.
And
I like
I
that.
think her and Stephanie are cool, have a good rapport.
Okay.
So like, if she ever knocked in that door, like, hey, listen, I want to come back. I don't think it's a hard no. I think it's up to Ronda to come back. It ain't up to them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you put Seth, Braun, Paul, and Ronda. Ronda is the female muscle of the group. And people keep saying about her microphone skill and her promos.
Yeah.
She ain't gotta say nothing with Paul Heyman. He do all the talking, and that's what she's the female Brock. You put her with them. She ain't gotta say nothing, bro. Paul's doing all the talking for her.
That's kind of fair.
I think the current roster, they don't need the group. Now, the person you might be saying who's not with the company right now, are you thinking Paige?
Once you started saying if they made a comeback, I was thinking Mariah May, because I'm like, oh, aren't they saying like she's probably gonna come to WWE? So I was like, oh, she just had this incredible match.
I heard they're making her an offer.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, a lot of ways to go with that, but that was my thought. But then when you say comeback, I thought, oh, Paige, yeah, that makes total sense. But
I say, oh shit, because you would never think Ronda would come back.
Right. That's why I was like, actually, I like I love that
because just like Bron, he came with the hoodie. You thought, oh, you were thinking another bloodline fan member.
I ain't gonna hold you. I legitimately, that was another one that I know I called months ago, and I think we talked about it where I was like, I want to see Paul Heyman be able to like step away because we need him and Bron to get together. He teased it mad long ago.
You should say he was like a Paul Heyman. He might be a Paul Heyman guy.
So that's my one question though about Austin Theory. You're absolutely right, Randy, in the sense of like if there's anybody who has the whole package, but just don't have the thing that makes me care. That's what fucking Cena cut a whole promo on him about. And he was right. You know what I mean? He has all the tools. He got the look. He got the athleticism. You know what I mean? But you know what's funny? You know how like sometimes something about you in real life happens and then it's like, oh, that's it? Did y'all ever see that clip of Austin Theory? He was in like a newsroom and some reporter just, he did the thing where he calls wrestling fake. And Austin Theory basically threatened to beat the ever-living shit out of him. I was like, that's it. You got to be that person in the ring. Because when he turned up, he was like, who the fuck are you talking to? I'll beat the shit out of you right now. And I was like, yes, him. If anybody could pull him out of Austin Theory, the real person, it is Paul Heyman. So like when you said that at first, I was like, is he a Paul Heyman guy?
Not yet, but he will be.
No. Is that guy who said to the reporter, I will beat the fucking shit out of you?
Exactly.
He's a Paul Heyman guy.
I mean, we need that. We need that Austin Theory.
And that's what makes me feel like you got a real good point. Because if anybody could get that out of him and on the regular and teach him how to just be that person, Paul Heyman.
And even I'm looking at it right now. Ronda has publicly praised Paul Heyman. That he was one of the few people who encouraged her creatively during her time with the company. He actually worked with her to develop her on-screen character, write and deliver the promos. Also credits Paul for helping her transition into pro wrestling, recognizing his guidance and support. So I'm just saying that's like far beyond.
You know what's funny about you saying that too? Is one of her recent gripes, which makes me believe that it's still on her mind, is that she said something about Logan Paul having the time to develop and actually like get coached and not thrown into the fire, basically. So this is still something that's on her mind. I don't hate it, man.
I think she'll come back. Am I saying tomorrow? No, I think Ronda would have one more go around, because the second go around wasn't that great. The first one was probably one of the best rookie campaigns we've seen in pro wrestling. So maybe she feels like I gotta redeem myself. Hey, listen, if you come to me and knock on my door, Triple H, yo, I want you to join Seth, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman, and he's behind everything. I don't see why.
I mean,
Because Becky's too obvious because she just turned heel on Monday. Now, if they were trying to acquire her, and yo, come on, Becky, come on, and month after month after month, then she finally broke and said, "Fuck this shit, I'll join you," and I started attacking the good people. Okay, yeah, but you can't just have Seth and Paul join on Saturday, and then Becky turns on Monday, and it's like, oh, come on, that's too obvious, bro. Too too obvious.
I'll say this though. I feel like if they come with the right amount of money, you might be right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ronda might be like, yeah, you know what?
And I like Ronda. I no problem with Ronda. I
I
think
like Ronda.
it was the creative at the time that was like, oh, okay. Then her with Shayna tag team, like then like it was clunky the second time around. I think this one in a fantasy world, you put her with Seth, Braun, and Paul Heyman, and even Austin Theory, bro. Come on, that's. I think they said that they should call it revolution, or revolutionary, or visionary, or some shit like that for Seth.
The
But
final five.
the bro, whatever it is, I just don't know anybody else on the roster that needs a group. Like that needs a group to be like, I gotta find myself.
How do y'all feel about Carmelo Hayes? I've seen his name thrown out.
I saw his name too. He would so Braun's on Raw, Seth on Raw. Theory would have to be drafted to Raw if that was to work, and so Carmelo or Theory would have to be drafted to Raw. Becky's on Raw, so I mean, it's just only a Monday Night Raw thing. I mean, I would have to think.
It also could be a good way to have him being Paul Heyman, go back and forth, right? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
Or you say, yo, fuck the draft, and everybody go on any show whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, if they're good, it feels like they're really gonna lead with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there were times where Cody would bounce back and forth. There were times when Roman would bounce back and forth, even though SmackDown was his show, right? So I feel like, depending on how creative goes, I could kind of see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, and I agree, but I know you got to run, T.
Well, no, before we jump,
yeah,
I might have spoken about it already. I know my internet was hating on me, so I was late.
Of course.
And I know you want to wrap up WrestleMania, but I just got to get it off my chest, and I want to hear it from y'all.
Okay.
I have one Mania question that I want us to answer, and I have one Mania point that I want to land on.
All right.
But I just wanted to know from y'all, again, just because we haven't been able to get it off of our chest, what were some of y'all favorite moments from Mania weekend, starting from any point that weekend? So you could even go, the SmackDown from WrestleMania weekend, like the whole weekend SmackDown before WrestleMania up until tonight SmackDown after Mania.
All right, can you go ahead? Your favorite WrestleMania week moments?
Yeah.
Everything with I think the promos between John and Cody was pretty good. Those are pretty good. Everything leading up before the triple threat match between both the women's and the men's, Seth, Punk was really laying it on. Everything between Rhea and Bianca was doing its thing. I would say Naomi and Jade, we saw, because now we see it on the internet. It was all leading up. WrestleMania, I would say I would take from night one, my best matches, the matches that stole me away were the triple threat, Rollins, Punk, Roman, Jade, and Naomi. LA Knight, Fatu was really good. And who else was on that night?
I mean, we can
On
just
night one,
Yeah, I'm just doing like night one.
Charlotte Tiffany.
No.
I thought that was better than what
It
people
was
thought it
better
was
than
gonna be.
expected. It was better than expected, but I know I saw like almost you could see like Charlotte was helping Tiff lead a little bit more in the match. Tiff was getting a little winded. She felt like she looked like almost like a little tired, but
because
Charlotte,
Charlotte wearing that ass out.
Charlotte, being a professional as she is, she
Yeah,
was
all
like, wearing her down, or so
got some receipts. That's what that was.
it was. But also, I feel like Tiffany, she's very. It's still her moves are very fresh and very highlight reel. Very loose. But in a match like this, where you gotta like put wear and tear down on the body, Charlotte was helping her. You just saw from the beginning to the end, it was Tiffy time. Where the beginning, it was Tiffy time is like. Then at the end of the match, it's time to clock out. So I don't know. So, but night two, Beck, Bianca, Rhea, Io, great.
Facts.
I would say the triple threat match: Dom, Finn, the Fatal Four Way, excuse me,
Yeah.
Dom, Penta, Braun, and
The greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, according to Dominic
that
Mysterio.
match was phenomenal, and and Randy got his moment with Joe Hendry. So shout out to that. Despite it just being that, it just like Randy. I think Randy felt good. He was able to have a Mania moment despite and it just helped. He like Randy now. It just shows the growth of Randy because
100%.
At a different time, at a different 10 years or so ago, Randy was and probably not the same person. We love Randy, but it was just a different moment, different time, and
thank you.
The way he is really, the way he's just
he's matured.
He's maturing, and he's just helping out a lot of like talent, even talent that's been in the business, but they haven't really got that recognition or give him that highlight moment. He's willing to take those bumps, take those moves, or not be the favorite, but also too he's willing to work and trying to take in depths. But like I said, different times, different moments, and Randy's just seeing it from the outside, and he's really like the how can I say, the lonesome dad now in the company. He's like the lonesome dad to a lot of them. He's like the hunter dad that's in the cabin. Everyone just comes to him like, Randy. He's like, you heard about me. What is it you want to know?
Just a sidebar: Minnesota up 10 with a minute to go on the Lakers.
They were tied at 103, and they just
that's probably gonna go 7, and Lakers might be in trouble.
The Lakers not having Anthony Davis really hurt them. They don't have no inside. Yeah, like you think having Hajimura is going to win you down the road and down the line? LeBron's 49.
We'll see. I feel like, and I want to stay on Mania, but I will say it's about the Lakers.
Me, right? Moments. I'll be super quick. Uso winning the world title.
Yeet.
Yeah, him doing that. Triple threat men's at the end, I think, is one of that and the women's are two of the top triple threat matches that I've seen, and that's not having recency bias. It's just like it was just flawless on both sides. Storytelling on both sides. People coming to me, yo, man, that EO girl, she's dope, man. I mean, yeah, man, EO is fucking nice, bro. Like, I love Bianca, I love Rhea, but she's dope. Punk and Seth and Roman just killed that shit. I thought Jay was dope in her WrestleMania debut. Did not care about the New Day match. Didn't really care about the El Grande match. We saw Ray Phoenix debut, and he takes the L in the debut. Night one, what else we got? The Tiff and Charlotte was better than I thought it was gonna be. Fatu, not much of the LA Knight fan over here, but I fuck with Fatu. And Drew and Priest solid. my guy Dom, new Intercontinental Champion. I've been saying it for the longest time. He should be IC champion. Orton Hendry was what it was. Logan Paul over AJ. I figured Logan would be the winner over AJ. AJ WrestleMania, just I don't know what it is, but I don't think he really has that mania moment aside from Boneyard, but that wasn't inside an arena or stadium. We saw Becky Lynch return at WrestleMania and become new tag champions for 24 hours. And then seeing Liv Morgan become a four-time women's tag team champion. So, all props to Liv Morgan. And obviously seeing Cena become 17-time world champion. And then Raw, the new faction, Rusev came back on Monday Night Raw. It was just a lot
crazy.
And even I don't have enough time for that, but I kind of thought Sami Zayn was going to turn on Jey Uso.
Bro, you saw that when Jay was at the turnbuckle and
and I'm like, oh shit!
I held my breath. I was like,
not right now.
I was like, bruh. I held my breath. I was like,
but I tell you real quick, from being inside T-Mobile Arena for Raw, when Braun Breaker came out and attacked Roman Reigns, it was like, oh, bro, the whole shit was like, oh shit, y'all, that's fucking crazy. I was like, nah. Okay, now we got something going on. Seth and Braun with Paul Heyman, with the things are rolling. We're in motion. What's gonna pop off? Who's next? That's the question. Who's next? Who's to join the group, and how many more members are you gonna add? So, that was kind of my takeaways from WrestleMania week.
I feel like for me, also all phenomenal moments. I think I had just overall moments that I thought were cool. Some in ring, some not in ring, but some that really just spoke to where wrestling is right now.
Lakers lost.
Since tonight was what I was saying about the Lakers is it's going to be a long series. We'll see how it goes, and I do believe that Luka will rise to the occasion. But to get back to tonight, right? I think that the Street Profits proved, like you said, that they should have been on Mania.
Correct.
But the coolest thing that they had during WrestleMania week was teaming up with the other greatest tag team of all time, Cameron and Mace, and going on the show. And Cameron's terrible impersonation of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Wow.
That was hilarious. But again, speaking to pop culture moment, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even if they're not on the card, they're representing for the company. So that was really cool. I don't know how much y'all watch NXT like that. I feel like we're all very familiar, but and Deliver, holy!
I did not see that.
That triple threat match, to me, you got to set the tone. Now everybody really is paying attention to NXT. So you guys are up first. You got to show that the sport, the company, it's all in good hands. And in the next coming years, you know what I'm saying? You guys are what's next. Oba, Trick, and Javon put on one hell of a match. I mean, to me, they set the bar. They set the tone for how the weekend was gonna go, and that match was just so fucking good. Yeah. Also, I'm a huge Sol Ruka fan, so seeing her be healthy and actually be able to compete, and she did a muscle up. I don't know if y'all watched it. But she was on one side of the ladder, did a muscle up to flip to the other side of the ladder, and then went and got the belt. I was like, she's just phenomenal. The stuff that she does, so acrobatic, so athletic. Big shouts to her. And then, of course, the other triple threat matches for me were just superb, right? They get all the superlatives. I don't know, did y'all see today that Io, Bianca, and Rhea got a 5-star rating? I think it's the first 5-star rating for a Black woman. Shout out, Bianca.
Yeah.
And of course, Bianca's outfit. She's just so talented.
The whole preparation for that was astounding.
My man Montez tweets God is good every day, and we see why. You know what I'm saying? Good for you, Tez. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you.
He had his outfit. Shout out to HBK in Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to HBK. So, but yeah, man. Now let's see what's gonna happen to Backlash, bro.
That was so amazing.
Yeah.
My last point of Mania is actually an opportunity to give my man Randy his flowers. We was all in the group
Randy!
chat. Randy put on, and
Yo.
we actually gave Jay Cargill a really dope T-shirt, and y'all had a cool moment. And so that would be my rounded out of like Mania moments that I thought was really cool. So,
Now that was
Hey, Randy, I feel like I was there. I was there with you, even though
yo,
every time Randy showed a picture, his meetups, his at Wale Mania, he was everywhere. Yo, I'm here home. I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm there with you.
100%.
Like, so Randy, shout out to that. Like, yo, dope pictures, dope content with
Thank
everything.
you.
I was like, man. I mean, man, I'm like, man, I wish I was in Vegas too. Not to party, but I'm like,
I was there. You know what I'm saying? My man Randy was hitting us with the
no, listen, shout out to my guy Arden through Fanatics and getting into World and seeing the whole thing, and Arden, my boy Cass, for Wale Mania, great overall experience. My fourth Wale Mania. They talk about it's the last one. I hope not. Hope they can, reconsider and bring it back for New Orleans next year. But overall, just being able to follow Jay Uso for that moment in time to get on stage and it's like, oh shit, like I'm actually like 1 foot behind a future world champion. It's like, oh shit, like, and then just seeing everybody at World and seeing Cena and Cody and Steve Austin, my goat, my favorite of all time. Like I'm like this 2 feet away from him. And then meeting Jade and meeting Jey Uso, meeting EO, meeting Dom Mysterio, Braun Breaker, courtesy of the Ring of Wrestling podcast family. All of them just gave me a great opportunity just to be in the building and be in the same room and do some photos and just chop it up with these people for just on some regular, hanging out shit. And it was really a dope experience, man. I feel like I forget. Chad Gable was also there. Charlotte came after. CM Punk. Meeting CM Punk is like wow, this is like fucking a goat right here. Like it's and everybody's cool and had a good time, man. The time went quick. I feel like, damn, I've been here for like 5-6 days, but it just went really fast, and everybody's just talking about next year and hopefully for New Orleans. And but I'm very thankful and appreciative for those moments and that time and just the content I was able to capture and put out. Kind of told the story, so just want to thank you guys for this being on the road with WrestleMania with me, showing you guys. So whatever I did, I showed you, kept you guys in the loop, and hopefully you guys can be a part of it. Hopefully next year. So let's make it happen.
Yeah, we need to do the pod live. You know what I mean?
Yo, man. Listen, New Orleans, man, you better start saving up now because if I say, hey, Terrence, there's an opportunity for X, Y, and Z, better be on that fucking flight.
I mean, to get to New Orleans, sure. To pay for WrestleMania, I might have to take out a couple of loans. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I have front row seats for WrestleMania from the comfort of a couch. Front row seats.
Peacock. That's right.
All right, shout out.
That's right.
Hey, but
yeah.
Oof, man, Randy,
Listen.
what is one do and don't that I guess being in the world at WrestleMania, like one thing like is good to do, but one don't is like, oh, bro, come on.
Well, one, I didn't go to Mania, so
no. I mean, like you was in the world, like the
mix, like being there for the
mix,
weekend.
the mix. What is a do and don't? Like a good idea.
Do it. I do it. Just enjoy the moment. I mean, it's like you're in it, but you don't really get a chance to really fulfill and enjoy it. But as you're in it, just like take notice of the environment. Like, wow, I'm really like here, like a made it moment. And you don't get anywhere without help, without friends that look out for you. So everybody needs that lending hand. And once you get there, just enjoy it, be happy about it, and just network yourself. And you never know what kind of opportunities are gonna or who you might meet from that. Don't
wear deodorant.
Yeah,
That's
listen,
a
man.
dude.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I think
see,
every fan should be
Well,
perfectly.
Oh, he took that from Drew McIntyre.
The
yeah.
fans, yeah, they're like, oh,
don't be creep.
good
Don't be creep.
hygiene. Don't be too hands on, too creepy. Don't just don't do too much.
I feel like don't do too
don't go
much.
overboard. Don't take a foot when they give you an inch, and just like just be a fan. And listen, we've all done that. Like, oh my god, come one more photo, and it's like, all right, fam, we can't really do that right now. It's like you got a whole 200 people back here trying to meet the same guy.
Don't do too much. Pretty much summarizes it, Randy. I think
Just don't do too much, bro.
yeah.
That's it. Just relax.
Don't go to El Del Taco at 2:00 in the
Also
morning.
got this my boy Arden from Netflix. Look at this.
Hey, you a champ, Randy?
That's right. There you go.
Hold it the right. There you go.
There
I
you
get
go.
so like that. That's my one wrestling pet peeve is when champions hold it upside down and they hold the belt.
Oh.
Well, the Miz did it because that was his name.
Yeah, true.
That's different. You know
And listen, last point, we can get to it next week, but they retired the Universal title.
Yeah.
No more Universal Champion. That shit is done. Anyways, Terrence, Lower East Scribe, my boy Kenny, Cowabunga _K_E_N, myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show us some love and support for your boys. On the program, more likely Monday night after Raw. If you gentlemen are available, we'll do Monday night following Raw on Netflix. And then I should be good. I know we're going to be in May soon, but I definitely want to do Backlash, following the Backlash, because it's in St. Louis and none of us are going to St. Louis. We can do following Backlash. So I definitely want to do that. But Raw on Monday, we'll get through that. SmackDown following on Friday, and we'll kind of go from there, unless I got to work a Knicks playoff game. But as of right now, the Knicks don't play on Monday, so I'll be here Monday.
Pistons in 6.
Yeah, whatever. We're up 2-1, man. Come on, man. Stop.
Pistons in 6.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Have a good night, man.
Peace, y'all.
Yes, sir.